Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into an absolute emotional roller coaster of a baseball game. We're going to break down exactly how the Miami Marlins managed to snap a franchise record losing streak in literally the most unforgettable way possible. If you love the mechanics of a massive momentum shift and just the sheer unpredictability of sports, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get right into the anatomy of what folks are calling the miracle in Miami.
Okay, so to really grasp the sheer desperation surrounding this game, you have to understand the heavy weight of this single crushing number, 12. That's 12 consecutive losses, a franchise record absolutely no team ever wants attached to their name. Heading into this Monday night matchup against the Philadelphia Phillies at Lone Depot Park, the Marlins literally hadn't won a game since July 9th. The atmosphere? Incredibly tense. This number was just hanging over everything they did.
And to put that into perspective, the contrast between their dominant June and their absolutely disastrous July was staggering. Back in June, they were the hottest team in all of Major League Baseball. They boasted a 26 record for the month, part of an incredible 26-8 stretch. Their pitching staff was totally lights out with a 3.01 ERA, the best in baseball. They were 10 games over 500 and playoffs felt like a lock. But then, July happened. During this brutal 12-game slide, they got outscored 59-30. They only managed to score more than 3 runs twice, and that elite pitching ERA ballooned to 4.63.
This catastrophic slide took a team that was 3 games up in the wild card race and sent them plummeting to 11th place, 3 games out of the playoff picture entirely. Marlins pitcher Jansen Junk bluntly summarized the immense despair in the clubhouse with just 2 words: "It sucks." And honestly, that hit the nail on the head. Absolute desperation. Meanwhile, their opponents, the Phillies, were sitting pretty at 57-49, holding the number 2 wildcard spot. So the stage was set for a massive clash. Part 1. Early fireworks and false hope.
The early innings of this game kicked off with an immediate exchange of offensive blows. The Phillies drew first blood, and man, they drew it fast. Top of the first, 33-year-old 9-time All-Star Bryce Harper did what he does best. He launched a massive 419-foot 2-run blast, his 22nd homer of the year. But instead of folding, the Marlins answered right back in the bottom half. Otto Lopez scored on a throwing error by Phillies shortstop Trey Turner, and then Herberto Hernandez launched a solo shot to tie it up 2-2. Keeping the pressure on in the bottom of the second, Griffin Conine, the son of Marlins legend Jeff Conine, hit a leadoff blast of his own. Suddenly, Miami is sitting on a surprising 5-2 lead.
Now, that sudden offensive burst really shook things up. It actually chased Phillies ace Zack Wheeler completely out of the game after just 3 totally uncharacteristic innings. Wheeler came into this matchup with an intimidating 10-2 record and a 2.16 ERA, but Miami managed to tag him for 6 hits and a season-high 5 runs. Phillies manager Don Mattingly later noted that Wheeler might have been feeling a bit nauseous, though there were no real injury concerns. Regardless, the Marlins, who hadn't scored 8 runs in a single game since their last win weeks ago, suddenly had this huge wave of momentum.
Part 2. The inevitable Phillies comeback.
But baseball relies heavily on momentum, and after a scoreless 4th and 5th inning, the wheels completely fell off for Miami. It all started unraveling against Marlins reliever Cade Gibson in the 6th. Bryce Harper draws a leadoff walk, then Alec Bohm singles to score Harper, making it 5-3. Next up, JT Realmuto hits a fly ball that actually bounces over the right field wall for an RBI double. After that, Justin Crawford singles in Bryson Stott, and to just cap off the disaster for Miami, Realmuto scores the go-ahead run on a throwing error by Herberto Hernandez. Just like that, the Phillies stole a 6-5 lead.
And the bleeding didn't stop there. In the 8th inning, Bryson Stott added a really crucial insurance run. He hits a triple and eventually scores, making it 7-5 for Philly. For the Marlins sitting in that dugout, it must have felt like the exact same nightmare playing out all over again. Another blown lead, another looming loss. It truly looked like they were staring 13 straight defeats right in the face.
Part 3. A miracle in the 9th. Heading into the final frame, the Phillies turned to their all-star closer, Jhoan Duran. Keep in mind, this guy had blown only 1 single save all season long. He just needed 3 outs to put the game away, but Miami methodically chipped away at him. Jacob Marcy leads off with a single straight up the middle. Otto Lopez follows up with a single to right, moving Marcy to third. Then Duran actually hits Kyle Stowers with a pitch. Suddenly, bases are loaded, nobody out. Herberto Hernandez steps to the plate and lines a massive 2-run single up the middle. Tie game, 7-7. This 12-game streak absolutely was not going to end tonight without a serious fight.
You can imagine the tension in that park. It was palpable. Shortly after that tying run, Xavier Edwards hits a single to load the bases yet again, this time with 1 out.
And guess who that brings back to the plate? Griffin Conine, stepping into the box with a golden opportunity to be the ultimate hero and end the worst losing streak in franchise history.
Conine later talked about the severe mental drain of that 12-game slump, saying, "It felt like we were never going to win again." Carrying all of that immense weight, he swings and lines the ball into right field right over a drawn-in Philadelphia infield. Hernandez crosses the plate, and that is the ball game. It was Conine's first career walk-off hit and the Marlins' fifth walk-off win of the season. 12 games of sheer misery completely erased in one single swing, securing an unbelievable 8-7 victory.
Part 4. The Aftermath and Beyond.
So, what does this all mean? The fallout from this game was massive. That walk-off victory was vital, improving Miami's record to 53-54. And while their July record still sat at a pretty ugly 7-14, this win crucially kept them just 3 games back of that wild-card spot. Marlins manager Clayton McCullough summed up the relief perfectly. Everybody feels good. On the flip side, a devastating blow for Philadelphia, dropping them to 57-50. This meant the Phillies had dropped 7 of their last 10 games since the All-Star break, plunging them even deeper into a really frustrating midsummer slide.
Now, on an individual level, despite the heartbreak for his team, Bryce Harper kept up his phenomenal season. He finished Game 1 with a hit, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored, including that monster 419-foot home run in the first inning. He ended the night hitting .252 with a super strong .850 OPS and 63 RBIs on the year.
But hey, in baseball, you really can't dwell on the past for long, right? Looking ahead to Game 2 of this series, the pitching matchup gives us another fascinating contrast. The Phillies are sending Aaron Nola to the mound, who has notably struggled this season with a 3.8 record and a 5.82 ERA. He'll be facing off against the Marlins' seasoned workhorse Sandy Alcantara, who brings a very solid 10-6 record and a 4.01 ERA into the contest. You know Alcantara will be looking to capitalize on this massive shift in clubhouse energy.
It's crazy to think about, but one swing erased a historic slump and completely flipped the script for the Miami Marlins, handing the win to reliever Calvin Foucher and pinning the loss on Joan Duran. For Miami, hope is suddenly very much alive. For Philly, it's back to the drawing board. Which leaves us with one final, compelling question. Will this incredible swing from Griffin Conine be the true spark that saves the season and propels them back into the playoffs? Or was it just a temporary delay in a midsummer collapse? I guess we'll just have to watch and find out. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and keep learning.